Let's take a look at the 5 most dangerous business trends to avoid. Will keep you from making the fatal business mistakes that causes others to fail. If you find that you're currently making some of these errors, admit it. Make a note of it and get ready to fix it. The reason that we're covering the mistakes of business first is to get you to understand that you must clean your house before you replace the furniture. It makes sense to avoid the usual pitfalls before working on doubling your income, because the biggest challenge to small businesses today is incompetence. Hard on the heels of incompetence is complacency, taxes, and last but not least, inflation. These 5 opponents to your profit margin must be carefully monitored if you want to do more than just make a living in your business. Let's start with incompetence. We aren't saying that people who start businesses are dumb. We mean that they usually start with very little competence in business affairs. They might be experts in their field, but not in the complexity of running a business. The proof in that statement is that 46% of all business failures are caused by a basic misunderstanding of what it takes to run a business. Take a look at this list and burn it in your memory. These are the leading causes of failure in businesses today. Notice that being stupid is not on the list. The good news, though, is that incompetence can be beaten out of you with knowledge and experience. The second major cause of failure is unbalanced experience. If you just got out of dental school and are extremely talented in your craft, that's great. But if you don't have a head for business, then you may not be ready to take on that challenge at this time. Let's take a look at a few of the causes of unbalanced experience. These are usually caused by ad hoc business practices or inconsistent application of policies and procedures. Complacency usually occurs during the mid-phase of the business cycle, when owners and managers are doing well but not keeping up with current trends and competitive measures. They're simply coasting. The entrepreneurial spirit is replaced with lethargy and mediocrity. Competition soon overtakes them and the marketplace makes them obsolete. 11% of the people who go into business do not know their market well enough to survive as a viable operation. There is that small minority of businesses that suffer from fraud and disaster, a mere 1%. Another enemy of business is one that we rarely see coming. If you analyze your income and you're growing by less than 10% a year, you're going backward. Real inflation is usually higher than the government estimates, for obvious reasons. They have a vested interest in keeping the numbers low. Your business has to live in the real world. Along with inflation, you'll also deal with the various taxes and fees that have to be paid. These don't seem to go down each year, just the opposite. So let's look at the odds for a moment. The NFIB estimations are grim at first glance. Remember that the majority of small business owners don't get an education in business before they open their doors. That's why they wake up one day to realize that they're making little or no money regardless of how much they bring in. Case in point, the fewer the employees, the greater your chances of failure. The facts lead to some interesting conclusions. Those businesses that can maintain a large staff tend to have systems in place to give direction and purpose to its employees. That in turn leads to greater income that does not rely on the business owner's direct input. The business owner is now free to grow the business rather than working in the business. So you see that the main cause of business failure is redeemable. We can, through proper education and planning, take care of this problem. In the next module, we'll look at what successful companies are doing.